Hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be a project pan tips video. I have done a few of these on my channel before, but I thought I would do an updated version. I have been on YouTube for 4 years now, and I've actually been project panning for 6 years. It's something I started doing before I ever had a YouTube or Instagram, but it's something I've really enjoyed, and I continue to do it because I want to get good use out of my makeup collection, and it is satisfying to see a makeup empty. So I do it because I really enjoy it, but how I do it has changed over the years. And so some of these tips I've talked about in my older videos, and some of these I'm kind of changing up, modifying. If you want to see my actual project pans, I have a project pan playlist for every year on my channel, and I have started one for 2022. I've already introduced a few new project pans. I also do shop my stash videos, and I did also film this makeup look. It was a more reviewing new makeup products video. So you can check that out. I will link a bunch of stuff in the description box and in the cards, and let's get started. All right, tip number 1 is pick products you enjoy using so that you're using your favorite products, enjoying your makeup collection. I think this is really important. I do sometimes pan things as well that I don't really like, but if I really hate something, I would rather just get rid of it. I don't really want to hate pan per se. Sometimes I do try to make things work, but for the most part, I try to pan things that I know I really enjoy, because then it's more fun and then you like the way your makeup turns out. And yeah, I just think it's better that way. My next tip is that if it's not working, either take a break or just get rid of the product, depending on the situation. If something is absolutely horrible, just looks awful, or breaks you out, in my opinion, that's not really worth it, and I would rather get rid of it. Sometimes I've been panning something and I feel like I'm not making progress, or I'm just feeling a little frustrated with the product. I will then just put it aside and use some other things for a little while. And then sometimes I come back to it and I don't know, I get like a renewed interest in it, and it all just kind of works out. So I think sometimes taking a break is really helpful, but if something is truly like atrocious and awful, I just get rid of those things. I try to be careful with my purchases from the beginning so that I don't end up with products like that. I've been on a low buy for over a year now. I'm continuing that into this year. So I'm trying not to even have products in my collection like that. And yeah, but sometimes taking a break is very helpful. My next tip is do what works for you. And like I said, change things up if you need to. So for example, when I started my channel, you can look back, I used to do pan that palette. I did it for several years in a row. And then at some point, I just decided I don't want to pan eyeshadows anymore. I would rather rotate through my eyeshadow collection, use what I have, and just do usage goals on eyeshadow palettes, but not try to hit pan or anything like that. And I've been so much happier enjoying my eyeshadows more since I've made that decision. I still pan lip products, face products, cheek products, all of that, except eyeshadow. And I am doing a project 100 uses instead. And that just has worked out so much better for me. I just think you have to do what works for you, and that has what's worked for me. And before, I did enjoy panning eyeshadow, but I just didn't want to do it anymore, and I didn't want to force myself to do it. And so yeah, now I'm just trying to rotate through my collection. And yeah, I just think do what works for you. You can also do usage goals. You don't have to try to hit pan. You don't have to try to completely use things up. Something else for me that has kind of changed, I would say just in the last year, I don't really set a goal very often of just trying to hit pan on something unless I want to eventually finish it, because I don't know, for me, just hitting pan, I've decided is not as exciting. If I'm going to pan a blush or a highlighter, I would rather just finish it up entirely. So I don't know, I don't have that much stuff with actual pan in my collection anymore, because once I hit pan, I just try to finish it. So that has kind of changed my mindset as well. Before, I used to kind of try to hit pan on a bunch of different things, and now I just focus on fewer things to completely finish them. This next tip I know that I have talked about in other videos, and that is be realistic with the products you pick and the time frame that you pick. There are a lot of year-long projects that are collab projects that a lot of us are doing, deck of panning, partners in cream. Those are all great because you have a year. That is a while, so you've got time. I do some shorter projects as well, but not as many as I used to. I used to do a lot more shorter projects that were only like 3 or 4 months, but I don't do quite as many of those now because I prefer doing a longer project actually. And also just with the products that you pick, I don't know, like for me, there's just certain lip colors I prefer, like more neutral or mauve-y, but not too pale. Red lipstick, bright hot pink lipstick, I just don't wear those very much, so I don't even want to try to pan something like that. There's no point. I don't want to do it. I want to be realistic and pick colors and things that I actually wear on a regular basis. I mean, for example, if you don't even enjoy wearing foundation, then don't bother. I'd say don't force yourself to wear a makeup style that you dislike just for the sake of project panning. Everything I do project panning goes within like my everyday makeup routine, and it also makes getting ready faster because all of my project pan stuff is together in my drawer right here, and it just makes getting ready much easier and quicker on a daily basis. But I would say be realistic to the type of products that you like, the makeup style that you like, and go with that, because then I just think it's more fun and enjoyable that way. Next tip is to choose products that you know you can finish up. I think that's okay. I think if you have something that's like half used up, put it in a project, because then it at least gives you some confidence because you know you can finish it. I think it helps to have some easier products like that, because I don't know, sometimes if everything I'm panning is super difficult to pan, like a bunch of bullet lipsticks or something that take me forever to go through, I become discouraged and it's not that fun for me. So I like to put in products that I know that I could finish in a reasonable time course. And also because I've been panning for so long, I know about how long something will take. Like for example, I know I have finished powder blushes, but they usually take me well over a year. So I'm not gonna like try to pan 7 powder blushes, because for me that's not realistic. So again, I think that this is really important. Give yourself some easy picks. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because it just makes it more entertaining and boosts your panning confidence. Another important point, I think, is not to overuse product. I think that that is just a little bit pointless and wasteful actually, and I don't know, I think if you put on more concealer or foundation than you normally would, it might not look as good, and I just think it defeats the purpose. So I use the same amount of product on project pan items as I do on other items. I'm not purposely like trying to waste the product. I just think, I don't know, it doesn't really make sense to me. It just seems like a waste. So personally, I just use my products as normal. I don't try to like do anything differently, because I don't know, for me, makeup is just supposed to be fun. I enjoy the process. I love trying different colors, different formulas. So personally, I would not recommend overusing product. My next tip is that if you're getting bored with a product, mix it up, try something new. Something that I did a lot last year was, for example, I was panning the Urban Decay Sin Highlighter and I was getting so sick of it. So when I needed to repress it, I mixed in a different highlighter as well. I added a little bit of a loose highlighter from Makeup Forever, and it just made it a little bit more fun. It changed up the color, it changed up the formula a little bit. Like, refresh your products, and you don't have to, you can repress different things together. Like I've mixed like 2 or 3 different blushes together, 2 or 3 different highlighters. You don't necessarily have to do that. You can even just layer them on your face. You layer 2 different blushes together, or layer like 2 different lip glosses. I think there's a lot of different ways that you can do that to kind of refresh things, make it more interesting. Also, I do this a lot with foundations and concealers. I will sometimes mix concealer in with my foundation, or I'll mix different foundations together to kind of change up the coverage and all of that. So yeah, I find this really fun to do, and I do repress things a lot, which brings me to my next point. If you're trying to finish up powder products, in my opinion, it is easier if you repress things when it gets to the edge. I will link my repressing video in the description box. For a long time, I was very anti-repressing because I was just really lazy and I was afraid I was going to make a mess everywhere. So what I would sometimes do is just like crush up the product and then use it as a loose powder, which that actually works okay when you're at the edge of a compact, but it can be a little bit messy because you have to be very careful every time you open it so you don't spill it everywhere. But now I have figured out a very simple repressing method. Like I said, I'll link my video. It's so easy. It takes me hardly any time, and it just makes using up the product much easier. I would recommend it if you're getting to the edge of a powder or a blush or a bronzer. Yeah, in my opinion, I think it is worth the effort. Alrighty, and my last tip in this video is don't be afraid to pan your favorite and holy grail products, because makeup expires, it goes bad, and it also takes a lot longer to use than we even realize. And by the time you finish it, you can either repurchase it if you really truly miss it, or with the makeup market the way it is now, there are always new products coming out, and you may be able to find something different if it has become discontinued. I mean, a lot of things for me, luckily, my staple products like Estee Lauder Double Wear, I mean, if that got discontinued, I would be pretty disappointed. Although I have recently found the Yensa foundation is quite similar. But yeah, I think don't do the whole save things for a special occasion. I used to do that, and it led to makeup expiring on me, and I was so sad. So yeah, I don't think it's worth it. I say use the makeup you love. Don't be afraid to pan your favorites, because it'll take a long time to use it up anyway, and if we don't use those products, they will go bad. So yeah, those are my project pan tips. Like I said, I've been doing this for over 6 years, and I've kind of changed my methods along the way, such as I no longer pan eyeshadow because I don't feel it's necessary for me. But I think doing what works for you is really important, and you can kind of see along the way. Like I said, I've kind of like changed my methods along the way and things like that. And I like to get use out of my makeup collection, and I do find it satisfying to actually finish products up completely. So that is it. Let us know if you have any other project pan tips. Check out my other videos. Like I said, I have project pan playlists for every year, Shop My Stash playlist, and I did film this makeup look, so I will link that in the cards and the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.